what inspires lyrically? What inspires kind of what you've been working on and the songs you've written? Do you find kind of poetry in the mundane, or is it kind of just thoughts, feelings? How do you go about sort of getting your lyrics down?
I suppose so. I mean, you know, obviously, in an ideal world, you listen or read the lyrics and then sort of gain your own understanding from that. But I'll tell you the sort of things that inspires me at the moment. For instance, at the moment, politics. Rishi Sunak and everything. Of course, he's a very current figure and all of that. And I've been tuning into a lot of current affairs about like HS2 and everything like that, and climate crisis, and what he said about transgender people and everything like that. It's sort of my fear that people sort of buy into that view is what inspires me to write in a certain way. And so that's one thing, but also just like everyday things, relationships, like friendships and everything. But I say life in general as a topic, which might change in the near future. But I'd say if you want to get a greater understanding, then listen to the songs, come to a gig, or once you've got music out, read the lyrics and see what you think of it. Is my biggest sort of advice.
And so, is there a plan for releasing music in the immediate kind of near future? Are we expecting an EP or an album?
We are going into the studio, but we recorded a couple of things, but nothing that's been really exciting towards us. And I know what you just said about if the audience doesn't like it, then your opinion doesn't matter. But
you've got to love it too.
But if we don't like it, there's an even lesser chance that the audience is going to like it. Or at least I'd like to think that. I'd like to think I've got good taste in music with what our own songs sound like, and I'd like to think I know what they should sound like as well. But that's real my opinion on it.
Yeah. So kind of there will be a record, but we don't know when. What advice would you give to young and aspiring musicians who are trying to make their mark, trying to make their way in the music scene as it stands in Great Britain 2023? What advice would you give?
I guess at the moment, I would say just gig. There's no point in having great songs. Just to get out there, find your audience.
I'd like to touch on what Izzy said about gig. A lot of bands at the start, they think they're too good for gigs. It's like they won't play in the midday, or they won't play when they won't busk or anything like that. Whereas like when we started, the reason why people see our names everywhere, and or our name as a band, is because we used to play the most horrendous gigs. I mean, we did busking in the rain, snow, freezing cold. We played in town halls. We've played on boats on the Grand Union Canal in February when it's minus whatever degrees at 9 o'clock at night, and there's no power, and there's nothing from stopping you from falling off the boat. Sorry, I'm so scarred from that gig. It was horrendous. I hate it. That's my least favorite gig. I hate every minute of it. But in order to do the good gigs, I mean, this is my point. In order to do the gigs, you've got to do the shockers. Yeah. You've got to do the stuff that no other people would do, and that's I think I'd like to think that's the secret to being great. I mean, obviously we haven't made it yet or anything like that. Hopefully we're on our way. But I'd like to think that the people who do the things other people won't do are able to get up there, because no one else would have done that gig but we did.
So I think to kind of summarise from both of you there, it's hard work, isn't it? You've just got to be willing to put yourself out there and put the hard graft in. And you guys, you sound like you're a very hard-working band. It's not just play a gig when it's convenient. You put yourselves out there, you inconvenience yourself to an extent, just to make sure that you're putting the band out there and getting known. And if one extra person leaves that show knowing your name, then it's been worthwhile. So what are you say you haven't made it yet? You guys are doing really well. You're on a UK tour. Yeah. You've got some great gigs behind you. So you've gone a lot further than most kind of have in the past and will do in the future. But where are the Molotovs going? What's the dream? What's the kind of goal, the future plans? Both within kind of the next 12 months, of any projects, collaborations, anything you've got coming up, but even bigger than that, what's the dream?
Yeah, I think to sum it up is world domination.
Simple.
Yeah. Next 12 months, world domination. Supreme leader Matthew Cartledge. There we are.
Before that, in the run up, we would like
In the run up too, yeah.
we would love some actual music out there, and something that's not just like, we want something that people can go home and listen to, in a safe, humble abode, I guess.
I think an album package would be quite nice. A vinyl package from the Molotovs. It would suit the style. It would suit your image and your look. And so I look forward one day to being able to get a Molotovs record for my record player.
Well, we'd love to have physical. We listen to vinyl. We collect vinyl. We'd love to have our own out there. But also our plans for Youth Explosion, as we mentioned before, the next 12 months. Hopefully, we'll be taking it, if not to other corners of London, to the whole of the UK.
In regards to, I've kind of already touched on what advice would you give people, aspiring musicians. The physicalities of putting a band together is something that stops a lot of young people. With regards to maybe they're not the best musicians, maybe not the best instrumentalists, maybe they haven't got the space, maybe they haven't got the money. What do you recommend to someone who's just starting out? They're in school with a couple of mates and they maybe know 2 or 3 chords. Where do they go next? How do they get the show on the road, so to speak?
Well, I'd say, rehearse wherever you can and however you can. I mean, we've done rehearsals in the scout hall down the road from where we live. We set up a drum kit, put the amps in there. We've done rehearsals and, got songs together like that and a live set. And also, what I'd advise is start doing covers first. Get a load of covers under your belt. Because not only does that refine your playing as an individual musician, but as a band as well. And that means you've now got a gigging set. So if people want to book you for parties and birthdays or, a function band for, let's say, a pub or a bar on a Friday night, people love that sort of stuff. And then you've already got a following out for your band who just does covers, right? When you release original music, you're going to have that following to release it to people. Where if you just release something, and you haven't done any gigs, then it's great. You've got your own song, but no one's listening to it. No one's listening to it. At least when you're playing covers live in a pub, people are listening to you.